Do you know what a backdoor reference is? Well, a secret is they might actually be killing your job search. In today's video, I'm going to share with you what backdoor references are, how they could be adversely impacting you, and what, if anything, you can do about it. Let's go. Now, first things first, companies do reference checks, right? But when a company reaches out to one of your prior employers to do a reference check, legally, there is not much they can say. To limit their exposure, most companies, when they say, hey, tell us about this person, they don't share a lot, right? Because they don't want to get sued, because they want to keep themselves from being exposed legally. What they're going to do is give very limited information. As a result, they're not super helpful. When you're calling into a company and you're asking, hey, how did this employee perform? You are going to get very boilerplate, unhelpful information. That is just what companies do today. And depending on your stance on this could actually be quite helpful. This keeps employees who are looking for a new job from being adversely impacted by something negative their past employer is saying that might not necessarily be true. Now, the flip side of that is someone who is hiring, it might not be very helpful to you that you feel like you can't get authentic and real information from someone's references. Now, that's all well and good, but it also has led to something called the backdoor reference. And that's a topic that we're really going to discuss today in this video. We're going to talk about what a backdoor reference is, how it happens, what you can do about it, etc. But a backdoor reference, in general, is when you're interviewing for a company and somebody on that interview team, often the hiring manager, knows someone who works at a previous place of employment. So instead of going through an official documented reference process, what they do is they reach out to that person and go, hey, off the record, I've got this person interviewing for my team. What did you think of them? And this is totally outside of the confines of the traditional reference check process. It is off the record, off the books, no documentation, and these tend to be a lot more candid than official reference checks. As a recruiter, there's been many times where I sent a candidate in, I felt really good about the candidate, the hiring manager said, oh, this looks like a great candidate, and then a week later I get on a call and they go, hey Ben, we're not gonna move forward with this candidate. I had somebody who I know who worked with them in the past, and I called them up, and I just got some really negative feedback, so we're gonna move on. In that case, as a recruiter, I often don't get any more information. I don't know who it was, I don't know what they said, and I certainly don't know how accurate it is. But that can be the devastating impact of a backdoor reference. And if you've had some really great interviews, and in the interview, you felt some really good signs coming from the hiring manager, and then out of nowhere, it just completely tanks and you end up not getting the job, that might be part of what is happening. If that's ever happened to you, leave it in the comments. Let me know if that's happened, if you suspect that's happened, or if you can confirm that that's happened to you in the past. So that's what they are, but what can you do about it? Nothing. Well, kind of. One of the things that you can do to avoid backdoor references is just maintaining good relationships throughout your career. I often post about different things in your career and accepting a new job and giving notice. And sometimes when I talk about giving a 2 weeks notice, I hear people say, who cares about a 2 week notice? Just quit. There's nothing they can do. Move on. They don't give you notice. And that's true. Most employers will not give you notice when they decide to let you go. But the reality is, if you just leave an employer, just say, hey, I'm done, and you leave, that can come back to hurt you. And backdoor references are one of those situations in which it absolutely can. A lot of people say, who cares? I'm just gonna go on, get a new job, not a problem. That's their problem. They're gonna have to worry about that. And in the very short term, if you have a new job lined up, you're correct in the sense that that specifically won't hurt your new job. But when you interview elsewhere, backdoor references are absolutely a situation in which that activity could hurt you in the future. Outside of not burning bridges and having good relationships, I would just say another powerful thing you can do from a reference standpoint to counteract this is have really strong other references that they can call. So when it gets to the point of references, you have ones you can tee up, former managers who can speak to your experience. Oftentimes when people are asking, hey, we're gonna need some references, they're gonna specifically ask for 2 managers and then one any other, right? Colleague, somebody you used to work with, direct report, whatever. But if they ask for 2 managers and you have 2 managers who are willing to speak strongly about your past performance, that can, to a degree, counteract a backdoor reference. Now, if that was surprising to you, there's actually a lot more things in the interview process that probably will be. That's why I made this video here. This video here is 5 interview secrets that I think every candidate should know. And if this was interesting to you at all, you should absolutely watch this one, because in this video, I give some serious tips that are gonna help you nail your next interview. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.